I first want to know if you're following the Oscar Pistorius trial, because here was a man who brought prestige not only to himself but to South Africa through sports, but because of that his fall is just as dramatic, and it's being so closely watched with huge ramifications.
Of course, in the United Kingdom it's a big story, and Oscar is and was a very, very big name, in the British sporting landscape. And of course, the London Olympic and Paralympic Games were, in large part, built around him.
Maybe 2010, possibly a springboard for the Olympics. You've said that Africa should have an Olympics. Are we as South Africa ready? Is the world ready right now for an Olympics in South Africa?
I don't know whether Africa at this moment is ready for a Games. What I am committed to is that, of course, the Games has to come to South Africa and to Africa at some stage. If we are going to globalise sport, and we talk about taking sport to all four corners of the globe, and we talk about it primarily because we want to provide ambition and, change the landscape that young people live in, both, physically and philosophically, then of course you can't have a global movement where a continent that has contributed so much to the Olympic Games, and particularly in my sport of track and field, everything between 800 metres and the marathon is now, so much of that is an African story. So of course one day the Games have to come here. But I also think that we need probably a global conversation about the nature of how we globalise sport, because you can't, if I've been to conferences for the last 30, 40 years where the same things are being said, we want to take sport to everywhere, we want young people to be involved in it, and then of course as soon as countries then sort of hold their hand up and say we'd like to do this, they go, oh well, we're not maybe sure that you're able to do that, and weather might not be that great, and we're not sure about local politics and all sorts of things. We've got to recognise that we may, all of us, have to do business differently. The IOC, FIFA, the big federations, if we're going to encourage countries, continents to take on sporting events, maybe we have to be a little more hands-on and help them do that.
One of the big concerns is costs, especially in a world with so many problems, many of them economic. Do you believe it's worth it?
Nobody should be under any illusion. Organising a Games is the most complex thing that any country, under normal circumstances, undertakes. If I just think about the metrics in London, we had an organising committee of 8,500 people. We had 200,000 people working within London in all the services that we needed to, the transport, security. We had another 100,000 people as contractors. We then found 70,000 volunteers. And, we had to bring all that together in the space of, a month. This is project management of inordinate complexity. I'm not saying that by way of wanting to put countries off, but it is very clear to me that if we are going to encourage countries and continents that haven't staged the Games to do them, and we're going to, we want to take them in, into different territories, through different borders, then we also have to recognise that that comes with challenges, and those challenges may mean us doing business in a different way.